The Special Inspector General for Afghan Reconstruction released a new report which found that U.S. officials, quote, only had data on about 57% of the $795 million spent on emergency response programs from 2002 to 2013. So do you get that? Hundreds of millions of dollars is missing in Afghanistan. We all could have guessed that this was going to be the case because we recently covered the report from Iraq where it found the exact same thing. They were like, yeah, of the billions of dollars that we spent, we lost billions of dollars. What the fuck? How do you lose $1 million? Never mind hundreds of millions of dollars. Never mind billions of dollars. But see, the reality is, some of it is lost, sure, but most of it, what's really going on here? Waste, fraud, and abuse. I mean, we're talking about war profiteering. That's what's really going on. All right, they continue here and say, overall, the Watchdog's report says that Washington has spent about $104 billion between 2002 and 2014 for Afghanistan reconstruction, with $66 billion of that going to the Defense Department. So in other words, not even really reconstruction. That money was going more specifically to war. They say, but the document says the Pentagon can only account for about $21 billion of those contract awards due to some accounting issues in the pre-2010 timeframe. Who was president in that timeframe? I don't remember his name. Okay, $104 billion spent. They can only account for $21 billion. So the earlier part of the article where they're like, yeah, a couple $100 million is missing. No. Later on in the report, they say that. Okay, I'm no math genius here, but that means you lost billions of dollars. In fact, that means you lost the majority of the money, tens of billions of dollars. You spent $104 billion and you can only account for $21 billion? No. And people wonder why, like, we talk about the military-industrial complex and why we're so angry at war profiteering and why we all think that war is a business. Because it is! There's no other explanation for that. You can't say, oh, that's just incompetence. No, incompetence is like, I lost $2 million. Maybe. And even out of $104 billion, I think I'm still being lenient by saying that. When you only account for 21 of $104 billion, that means that there's some jackasses who were part of some defense contractor who took that money and now they're in Belize getting blown by a hooker. Oh, God, this is terrible. So, they're not done in this report. They say, quote, as far as U.S.-based companies, Humvee maker AM General has racked up $5.5 billion in sales in Afghanistan, mostly through the sale and repair of Humvees for the Afghan army, while MRAP and heavy truck maker Navistar won $781 million worth of deals. A third company, Textron, inked another $632 million, mainly for the 400-plus armored personnel carriers it has sold for the Afghan Army's Quick Reaction Force. Okay, this is the problem right here. Don't get me wrong, man. Do I think that people in Washington believe the bullshit in the cover stories? Like when they make these decisions to invade Iraq and Afghanistan, they think, oh, we're just protecting the country, we're just doing the right thing, and we're just going to spread freedom around the world or whatever they tell themselves. I do think they believe that because when they lay their head down on the pillow at night, they can't feel like they're evil. So they rationalize it. But are these things a tremendous motivation for us to start all these wars all over the place and stay there? Absolutely. If you think billions of dollars isn't persuasive and doesn't push people in certain directions, I got a bridge to sell you. The people who should be most outraged by this, fiscal conservatives. I mean, obviously progressives should be mad at it too, because anybody should be mad at it when you're blowing billions of dollars for no good reason. But putting aside the anti-war argument and the, hey, let's not hurt civilians argument, which should be persuasive enough, but still putting that aside, there's a point to be made here just from a let's not blow all our money perspective. Hey, let's make sure we don't add too much to the debt and too much to the deficit. Let's make sure that, we're not prioritizing improperly here where we're trying to do nation building when it's not going to fucking work, and in the process, middle-class taxpayers in America are getting hosed. So it doesn't matter where you fall on the political spectrum. When you hear about this, you should go, oh yeah, we should never do that ever again, ever, and we should hold everybody accountable who was involved in this and throw some people in jail.